And we are back here live at the Alvarado Street Brewery and Bistro for Pub Talk and the Locals radio station for the Monterey Bay. Yay! Jeff White and Kevin right here with you as we are broadcasting under the beautiful lights of the Carmel Plaza. Lots of fun stuff going on here tonight, and we're going to continue the fun. It was great talking to Joe and Josh. A lot of good stuff going on in Capitola.
It's one of those, my biggest gripe with that is they're not here.
They're not closer.
Yeah,
that's
but
fair.
It's not that far.
It's really not.
People complain at it. I'm like, even if it's bad traffic and it's an hour, you look out to your left and it's the most amazing view.
And you put on KRML and you got a great soundtrack for it too. You know, go figure.
Plug.
Go figure. I'm not too proud
You have
for
no
that.
shame.
You know, that's
neither
okay.
do I.
We're going to keep things going, though, because we've got our good friend Hanif back here with us. Hey. And I would put a title underneath that, but we'll get into exactly how long that title is here in a couple moments.
We're just going Renaissance man.
Yes, and we've got Eric from ReGen Monterey joining us as well, which is fitting because just this afternoon you guys unveiled a mural in Seaside. Tell us about this.
Well, it was the mural that we just finished for ReGen Monterey and City of Seaside Arts Council, Blue Strike. It's kind of a joint. I think my man knows a little bit more about the details. But yeah, it was beautiful. It was a gorgeous day. A lot of the community came out, lots of smiles, and they made cookies with the mural on the cookies.
What?
And I got to say, this is the first time this has ever happened for me, and it was very special.
That's freaking awesome is what that is.
Were
you just like, whoa, seriously? Really?
It really just took me out of everything to see the cookies.
That's amazing.
And I'm extremely grateful.
I have to say, Seaside supports art.
Yes.
Like, they love art.
Yeah.
I wish more cities took that as a...
Murals are beautiful things, especially when you've got an artist like Hanif. That certainly helps. But you know what? You can't just have the artist. You got to have the building, and you also got to have people that support it.
Yes.
And, Eric, I want to talk about ReGen, because this is obviously a really cool thing that you did to sponsor and commission this. But before we get into that whole process of how this mural came to be, tell us about ReGen.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know what it is. It sounds kind of like a company, right? But I think most of us, a lot of people in the community know it as the dump. We try to discourage that word
a little bit, yeah. Fair.
And then there's these things called special districts, which is represented by every city in the county or in the peninsula for us. So we're a facility that's owned by the people here, and so we're where all your trash goes, where all your recycling goes, and where all your compost goes. And I'm on a team of 4, and we're trying to teach people how to do things right. And one of the biggest new laws that have come out in California is that you have to put your food scraps in your green curbside compost bin.
Yes.
So we all used to having that in our green yard waste in our green cart, but now we're putting food in there. It's a big behavior change. It's a monumental behavior change.
Because people are like, wait, my banana peels shouldn't go with my
grass clippings.
My grass clippings, but it's like, nope. That actually they should, and here's why, right?
Yeah.
Minus the compostable bag, correct?
Yes, thank you so much for putting that on there. Yes, and the reasoning is because all of our compost goes to local farms. So in other cities, people have gotten frustrated with us because they move here and they're like, hey, why can't I put a pizza box in there? But we're putting our compost on farms, and they don't want bits and pieces of pizza boxes and compostable bags. Yeah. They want pure food scraps and yard waste, and we're really proud of that. And I'm on the communications team, and small district governments need those people like me, to do websites, social media, in-person outreach. And we, collaborated with Hanif, and this was a really unusual thing for government to do. I know you're saying Seaside is great at supporting public art, but in terms of, we've done commercials, we've done print ads, this is the right thing to do. Try to think of ways to encourage people to do this, and what better way, what an amazing permanent way to teach people about this with his art. And not only is it teaching people that, but it's just in the abstract. You walk by and you may have different meanings for it, which is also beautiful too.
Yeah.
So he's really delivered. We really got the right person for the job.
Well, and you mentioned ads, and people have been hearing, I love what you guys went with. Sort with heart.
Yes.
You know, be present. Understand that what you're doing has got a bigger impact than just getting it out the door to the curbside.
Yeah.
You know?
We're trying to instill pride, because it's some people have a hard time collecting food in a trash can in their house, right? But we need to do it because 30% of what's in a landfill is food.
Yeah.
And we only have the landfill that we have in Monterey County. It's 2 miles north of Marina. That's all we got.
Yeah.
So if there's 30% that's in there and that could be used for something else,
It's
why
not just that it's taking up space; it's that they could be used for something good.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so I love what you guys are doing with this, and I love what you touched on, but there's a bridge there. Like, when did ReGen was like, you know what we should do? Let's sponsor a mural that Hanif does. Like, how did that conversation come to be? What was the collaboration like? Because I saw it today, and it's freaking gorgeous. It's amazing. And if you see it, you can get it. You're like, oh, wow, okay, I see. But how did that process come to be? I'm sure there's a cool story there.
Yeah, an old friend of mine, Rose, who is with Blue Strike and kind of part of this entire thing, she initiated the outreach to me. I think you guys had some talks.
She's our consultant.
Yes,
basically.
And she kind of started shooting ideas out with the concept, and asked if I'd be interested in submitting some stuff. And to be totally honest, the first few that I submitted were very literal, versions of the art. Like, they had the green bin in them and families, and it was just kind of like I kind of took the mission statement and then tried to illustrate that, and then went through some different channels, and Rose was like, hey, what do you want to do, kind of thing. And so I was like, oh boy. And so
that's a dangerous question to ask.
it is.
Spidey senses start going. Yeah.
I'm like, this is the Sigma Galaxy out here, and it's hidden behind the Wu-Tang symbol. But yeah, so I just I kind of made a head explode, literally and figuratively, and
we loved it right away
Yeah.
because we saw those earlier iterations, right, where it's more instructive, but I don't think that kind of art is going to inspire people as much.
Right.
It may be helpful, but we were excited to see the more abstract version, just because, again, as I said, it provides that message, that the transformation of food scraps into compost. We have a circular economy here, which is so unique in California. We're leading the state and the country at what we're doing.
Wow.
So
congrats. Just
thanks.
Quick. I love that. Like, quick plug. No, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's kind of a big deal.
And what it's kind of come from too is, like, as a communications professional, everybody consumes information in different ways, right? Some people are listening to radio, some people are reading the newspaper, some people are on social media. We got to try to cover all the bases, right?
Yeah.
billboards.
So important. Yeah, billboards, yeah, you name it. So this is a really novel, really innovative idea. I don't take credit for it. But it was part of this package of the commercials and the bus ads. But what's really special about this is it's sustainable. The word sustainable, it's going to be there for a long time. And that's the kind of communications I appreciate.
And I got to say, thank you. Those cookies put the icing on the cake, on the cookie.
You cannot go wrong with cookies.
That's a great
With
souvenir.
your own mural on them? Are you kidding me?
It is such a forgotten promotional tool, the cookie.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to Angelina's Bakery in
Yes.
Seaside.
Bravo.
That's what we try to do is have goods there, including cookies and burritos that were from Seaside businesses. And what I really appreciated about your talk today and the council member Alexis Garcia Arzola was your pride in Seaside. I've been a Seaside resident, and just your love for Seaside and having this blank canvas that is on one of the busiest streets. It just really is special.
Well, here's what I think is so great about this whole collaboration. And you mentioned it, like, art is awesome. And like, I love seeing a mural, even if it is like the most children's book layout, just neighbors at a farmer's market. Like, that's great. It's way better than just cinder blocks.
Yeah.
But I love even more that you guys wanted to support Hanif, and Hanif took it and let's be abstract about this, and let's put something on that's not just a coloring book, no offense, but something that's art, that's true art,
Yes.
that's going to make people think. Because people are going to see that and they're like, huh, okay. Like, maybe they're just drawn to it and they think it's pretty. Maybe they get into the detail and they're like, what's that all about?
Yeah.
You know, and I think art isn't art until it makes people think. You know, otherwise it's just furniture. So I love the fact that you guys gave the green light on that and you gave it the keys to this man here.
It is always exciting to be able to have the opportunity to paint something like that on a large wall, because it tells a story, and the story is not, sometimes it's just not right there in your face, so you kind of have to pass by it a few times, look at it a few times, and then while you're at home or something, like, oh wow, okay, and then everyone kind of gets to have their own version of what that story is, but it's kind of funneled into the message of what's going on.
I like, though, that you play into that side of things, because sometimes art needs to just smack you in the face.
Right.
But there's some times where it's like, okay, wait, I've seen this for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden it hits.
To interject with
Yes.
Hanif's art, it's always behind the face. It's the head explosion, right? It's
good
everything
one.
in the subconscious that you're
Yes.
looking at.
You are hearing the dulcet tones of Domini, who just was able to join us, which is a perfect segue because we're talking about all the great work that ReGen is doing. And on top of all that great work, supporting art is another great work. And you two, we talked about you, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? We had
2 weeks ago.
Monterey Museum of Art on. You are 2/3 of the brand new exhibit at Monterey Museum of Art, Iluminado, which people have been hearing on the station about. I haven't had a chance to check the exhibit out, but I've been blown away by the pictures and the videos I've seen, as well as our friend Mark Anderson, who's been singing both of your praises for quite a while.
Awesome.
So you've got a great opportunity to see it on Saturday. The museum's having their Solstice party, and having been to a few of the parties at the museum, they are not too shabby.
They know how to throw a party.
This is not a stuffy art museum by any
They've
means.
stepped up their game year by year.
It
Yeah.
feels so alive and so fun. I mean, the difference between when we were installing in that room and it felt big and cold and intimidating to when the whole exhibit is running and people are playing. And here's the thing is this exhibit is best seen after dark. So when the museum's open for a party, like, come and play.
Yeah, check it out. Well, and I love the idea of making the transition you touched on. Big, empty, cold. Also just a total blank canvas that you guys turned into something that is interactive. And don't get me wrong, like I love going to really great art museums and sitting and taking it in. I love that. Like, it's great, but I also love when you get interacted, and even more so, I love when two different types of people get that experience. One, children. Mm-hmm. I just love when kids realize that art is something they can actively be a part of. Yeah. That's just cool. Yeah. Maybe even cooler, though, is people that have this pretense of what art is, and then they get to see something like that, and they're like, wait, this isn't just me standing 12 feet back and looking at a painting behind a plastic thing. No, art is something that is ever evolving and present, and you can be a part of it.
Okay, I'm going to acknowledge I'm totally hogging the mic, and we need to let Hanif talk too.
Hanif
go
talked
for it.
enough.
But so, as far as you're saying, like, you don't want art to be like furniture, for me, the definition of good art is that it causes feelings inside, big feelings that you struggle to put words to for a while, and that actually creates the conditions that build brain plasticity and change. And I feel like we were able to do that with Iluminado, partially because of our shared brain, which we are only getting to meet now after 5 years of hiatus from doing shows.
That blows my mind, though, that it's been that long.
It's everything seems like it's that long, right?
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this particular exhibit, also in collaboration with Joe Ramos, is that a lot of it gets activated by the people that are in the space. So you could walk around and look at everything in a stagnant manner, but when you start realizing that you can be a part of what's being put there and what's going to be released afterward, and in a really massive scale, what's happening on the wall. And so there's stories that you can unleash just by interacting with it with your hands or with your friends and all that.
And you could go the old guard that looks at you go to the stuffy museums and you sit on the bench and you don't touch.
And again, I don't want to knock those because I do feel like they have their place.
Time and place.
However,
but you could have that old guard all of a sudden be like, huh.
Maybe that's even better, right?
And I
Like
start
the
to
old
shift
guard.
my paradigm. But then you also have the kids who just like, I can't go to our museum. I don't know anything about it. But then it can be like, I
Yeah.
do have a place in this, and start to change the system. Because if any other time than 2025, the system needs to change,
Right.
Yeah.
this is a time where the kids can be like, oh, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
And for a long time, I think with the Monterey Museum of Art, they just have they've been a great collector of works of art of Monterey, a lot of landscape art that are really important, and so you would go there to go see that. Someone made this 100 years ago, and I still like to see that. But now that I have young kids, where they are understanding if they want to be sustainable, it's important to bring in this more avant-garde kind of participatory art that I've been appreciating them doing. They're doing the block parties outside now. ReGen has been participating in that. And to see their new exhibit is exciting for me. And I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. It used to be that when they have those 100-year-old, 150-year-old paintings, my kids want to touch them, and they can't.
Can't do this.
Yes.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
No.
But now we have this shared experience where they can come and they can participate in these kinds of interactive
I'm putting
exhibits.
a pin in that because I want you to go, and I'm going to come back to this one.
So, Jeff, earlier you were talking about things you can do to make a difference, right? Buying locally and also creating change in our local community. And, yeah, the times are fascinating and dark. It's
one word,
One way of putting it.
It's an amazing time to be alive if you can take your stake out of the game for a second. One thing I read, because, of course, this hits me hard. The state of the world hits me hard. It hits all of us hard.
Yeah.
Is that joy is a form of resistance. And I feel like art is one of the best places also to incite the capacity for joy, that creativity and the play. And that's a very powerful form of rebellion.
Yeah.
As well as take all that energy that is existing within that anxiety of everything going on and not having answers, and being able to funnel it in kind of in a way that could be universal or just something that you enjoy doing. You know?
And often the words fail.
Right.
I mean, when you're, Lord knows, there's some weird, twisted, crazy stuff that's just bending our minds
an
every day, right? And we're churning and all that, and like I couldn't tell you what I'm feeling here and here, but maybe I can express myself in another way. It's like, here's where I'm at right now. This is my moment.
Yeah.
And maybe that will maybe it'll bring me relief. Maybe it'll bring somebody a question. Maybe it'll bring somebody joy.
Well, there's kind of joy and excitement in the poetry of having to use your mind and see something or
Using your mind is a key part to the resistance.
yes. I mean,
Gosh.
Quato told me that
Yes.
from
Yes.
Total Recall.
nice.
Yes.
And I think your comment on joy, because it's that age-old, just ignore the bully, and it pisses them off. When you say something to try and incite me, but I laugh it off, and I find joy in it, it actually bounces that back as like, oh no, why isn't this working? And I've found that, especially with my daughter, hey, you laugh it off, and you turn this off as like, that's not going to bug me.
There's another more subtle aspect, too, to what it's doing to brains that we built into the Lightbox shadow wall, where there's this cognitive dissonance involved with the play. So what we have is, Hanif has these two separate videos. We're checking sound here.
No, we're good. Keep going.
All right. So Hanif has created these two separate videos. One is overlayered over the other on the shadow wall. But to reveal the hidden video, you're making shadow puppets with your hands or using shadow puppets that we preset, including Joe Ramos with the camera, that reveal the hidden video underneath. The thing is, all of this is picked up off of a 4K webcam that's suspended like 10 feet above the light box. And the part where you're working here, it's the 2x8 light box. So we built this really big light box. We'll end there. Large square
Really
footage.
big.
Really big.
We're not sure where we're going to store it. It could be a bed after these things that happen after art. Back to this. You're seeing other people play with you. You're looking up there. Your hands are interacting here. And there's this cognitive dissonance as far as like unconscious collaboration with people you may not know. But you're feeling not just about them, but about everyone you see is aware.
Oh, and one of the funnest things about this particular Shadowbox, Lightbox experience is that because I've DJ'd a party and I've been to some of the parties and stuff, and just kind of being a fly on the wall, seeing how adults interact with it immediately, and then seeing how kids interact with it immediately. And it's just really fun, because the kids are like, oh my God, I am up there right now. And adults look at it and they're like, I don't know. Okay. And then sometimes it takes like one childlike adult to be like, hey man, look, it's up there.
Dude.
Yeah. And so that's been a lot of fun as well.
To what you were saying, what you just said, like the planned obsolescence of things in our society is just grab, go, start over. Like the art I make, and Jeff's seen some of it, is I always take something that's already existed and repurpose it into something. Like nothing that I have made I had to go buy.
We love that, by the way.
Yeah, I have gone to Last Chance. I have taken something out of someone else's trash can, and I have repurposed it into a second life. But that's an experience of going out there. We took some stuff out, and my daughter just stood there watching them sort. I'm like, yeah, because they're finding that this wood can be used for that. That tool can go be used for this. But I also find that the kids have a different filter. Like, they're not afraid to be like, oh, that was awkward.
Yes.
They don't care. But as we get older, we start to find that, like, I'm not going to do this because people are going to think I'm an idiot.
Right.
I'm like, man, be an idiot.
Yeah.
Be a weirdo and get out there. And we need to embrace hey, let's take that piece that is a little funky and let's add our flair. Yeah, it didn't work.
I feel like
Cool.
you're like talking about like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree here.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, hey, let's dress this thing up and show it how great it can be.
I just have to remind you all that one of the most basic public services you can do is lower the bar. Make everybody else feel okay about everything else they want to be doing too.
Yeah,
I am totally okay failing.
And if you're doing it right, then you're having joy with it.
Yeah.
You know, and that applies to art. That applies to, I mean, maybe not your job, but, you know, depending on what your job is. But, like, I look at surfing. I'm like, are you having fun? Then you're doing it right. You know, there we go.
And you find community in that too.
You
You know,
do.
you find like-minded individuals that, you know, even if it's an unspoken thing, you find people that are just on the same vibe as you are, and
100%.
that really I don't want to be too much chat GPT, but fosters. It really fosters like something new, and it's like innovative in a way that you can't really put your finger on it. And that's kind of the way that we've been approaching you know, the builds of these art installations and stuff, and working with the community and different organizations, having, you know, different people that we know are masters and local and love what they do and are just like wizards, and they just kind of geek out, but there hasn't been an outlet for them to do that, right? So it's like, oh, this person could do this person could do this. How about we all get together and we all have fun?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, we tend to complete each other's sentences. It's like
collaboration.
2 months in an art cave, and
That happens.
yeah, just one thing that we found remarkable, again, meeting who we are as a shared mind after 5 years of hiatus, where we both learned a lot of different skills, is revisiting our capacity to just pull in community and somehow know these people who are excellent at doing these things that they love and giving them the opportunity to really shine.
Well, we've talked about this a lot over the years. And this somewhat ties in a little bit to how, like, yeah, we're in however fascinating times, unparalleled times, whatever. One of the saddest parts for us is I feel like education, and I preface that a little bit with, like, education can mean what you learn on the streets or in a classroom, right? But learning, the idea of seeking wisdom, seeking knowledge. There's a lot of folks out there right now that don't want you to do that, and they have their agendas for why. And one of the ways that we do see that coming to fruition is, oh, we got a budget deficit, arts,
Yes.
music,
yes.
get it out of here,
Yes.
da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly.
And to me, I look at it, I'm like, these are the things that do bring people together. These are the means that so many people, kids and adults alike, but particularly if we're talking about in the schools, you know, there's a kid that's in 7th grade and his parents are going through a divorce and he's got zits on his face and he doesn't know what the heck's going on, but he can go into an art classroom and he can express himself. And not only, maybe he can just express himself in that moment, and that's enough.
Yeah.
But maybe he discovers a talent that changes the course of his life. The art gives you that ability of this wide open highway that, unfortunately, and I'm not saying like math and science aren't important. They are very important. But art is no less important. So if we're seeing them getting pulled out of the schools, which is a damn shame, at least we have folks like yourselves come here. And the Monterey Museum of Art, too. I want to give them that because they're such an open-door place. They are welcoming people into it. We need that more than ever right now because kids are freaking confused, and they have every reason to be like, we've got an unstable society. Like, we've got every bit of technology just pinging them constantly. They need a way to, like, express themselves in a way that words can't. So I just want to commend you for showing this, but you're allowing them to interact it, but you're also showing them, like, hey, this is something big. You could be a part of something like this, you know? Like, and we need more of that, especially if they're not getting into schools.
And I'd like to add, talking about your hobby, we have an artist in residence program that I'm really proud of, where it's gotten more competitive, which is great.
Which should be.
Yeah, and then they're just giving full carte blanche to. The only thing is, we give them a stipend, and then they're allowed to rummage through our recycling plant and our landfill and Last Chance.
I think you might have found your next artist in residence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
he's doing that for free right now.
Yeah. And what's great is our CSUMB students. I was a CSUMB art student myself. So to help mentor these students, but also just be like, this is the world's your oyster here.
Yeah.
Like, we have paint that people drop off because it's hazardous, right? Yeah. But we give it out for free, just to let everybody know. Before you go and buy paint at Home Depot, come
really?
to yes, yeah. come to
watch out.
Come to ReGen Monterey. We have tables of paint for anyone to take.
I have taken some.
So ReGen is actually part of our exhibit as well. We found the resin cast leaf bench that we did was a coffee table that I got at Last Chance Mercantile.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah, it came home with me. It was $35, and we just began to build on that thing. So you can sit on it.
I love it.
So good.
Just avoid the moss.
And that's part of the message is from this program. It's not only encouraging young artists to think outside the box, but it's also encouraging. It's encouraging people to look at items as art and what can you make out of things. And it's just really special to see each artist come up with different things, and they could be murals, they could be sculptures, whatever. It's so fun. It is. Someone who had to
you
find.
guys got everything there. You can make a Gilligan's Island out of old kitchen tiles and
the stuff people throw away. It's just like it's sad. But then when I'll be walking with an artist, in the landfill, and they just see a perfectly good mannequin or something, and they can make something out of it. It's I love shadowing them.
Yeah.
So how do we get on the list where we get a tour and we can take your mountains?
I got you guys.
My favorite is when you go and it says no scavenging, and I'm like, oh, that thing. How could I sneak this in the back of my
Wait, so what is scavenging?
Why'd
though?
you
Isn't
tell
that
me
what-
to do the thing that I came here to do?
I could get this in the truck.
Lower the bar.
I mean, that's like a parent saying, you can't look in the closet in December, right? Come on. What are we doing here?
Yeah, for sure. And it's been fun, again, I was a documentary filmmaker. That's what I graduated with from CSUMB. Tried to stay here. It's hard, but I got a job doing communications. But I get to encourage artists. I get to make reels on Instagram. That's kind of my little...
And you're a damn good photographer as well.
Thank you very much.
And you're also helping get rid of a lot of waste that would go in the landfill and turn it into some... This man's checking all the boxes.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I'm going to give him some credit.
And what's nice, too, is it's a public agency, so I feel good. I'm doing, I'm working somewhere. It's a public service. A lot of these places are made by corporations, and the easiest thing to do is and the biggest revenue source is just throwing things in the hole, as opposed to taking the time to be like, okay, this can be recycled and reused, right?
Time is the most finite resource that we're dealing with, and as I was joking about earlier, technology is making it that much more finite.
Yes.
So the idea of pause, let's take the moment to check this out rather than just moving to the next thing.
Yep.
It's brilliant.
Yes.
If people are hearing this and they're like, I need to know more about ReGen, what's the best way to do it?
I think you got to follow us on Instagram at ReGen Monterey. We just made a new webpage too. But what I try to do, I call it curating. I'm the chief storyteller there. I curate the Instagram. Like, I want it. And I've been going on a tour this whole year doing public speaking at conferences for communicators and for solid waste agencies, saying, think outside the box. Don't do the graphic design of a styrofoam cup with an X on it. Like, come on, let's do better. Let's do a mural.
Hire Hanif and Domini.
Let's do little videos.
There we go.
Like, we have so much beautiful imagery. Let's turn the idea of a dump on its head. We're a government agency. Let's give thanks to the frontline workers that work there. And there's so many beautiful compositions. Like, I almost have to like stay in my office
and really connect the dots of how your institution really is part of the community and is part of everybody. So and really kind of celebrating that rather than just having it be something that's not a stiff idea.
Well, it's not a corporation. It's not a corporation. We're owned by the public, so the public expects us to protect the environment because it can be a polluting facility. It can be, but we do everything we can. I'm not going to be a spokesperson for somewhere that is being polluting or isn't being sustainable. Like, I want to believe in what I'm talking about. So that's why I work there, and
you're doing a good job. And you were talking about beautiful pieces. I think this mural is a perfect example of that. It was debuted just today. Where in Seaside is it so people can come check it out?
It's on the Farmers Insurance Building on Hamilton and Fremont. Correct. Yeah.
So we really wanted somewhere really visible, so it's on one of the busiest streets in the entire county, and it's just it's perfect. I mean, I was wondering, I'm not a muralist, so it's kind of there's bricks or and
like, how do you make this happen? And he did, because that's what he does.
And it's just a perfect. I'm glad that you said it was a nice canvas, because it's in a place where people are driving by every day, and that was really important to us.
That's going to be residual.
And then just to also mention, we partnered with Salinas Valley Recycles, which is we're the same kind of agency. We're split in half in the county. They take care of the eastern part of the county, and Hanif is going to do another mural with the same message on the Salinas Valley side. So we're really proud of that. We wanted it in places that were special to the community for both sides of the county.
It's also good that you gave him something to do, because he's pretty bored.
He doesn't do much.
He doesn't do much at all.
Such an underachiever.
So I'm glad that you gave him something to do, because I was worried. I was like, what is he going to do? Just sit at home, twiddle his thumbs?
I mean, we never would have thought we'd get Hanif.
He's going to pick up a new instrument to learn how to play.
We were all big fans, all of us, because we're all fans of art, and to land Hanif doing this was a big win for us.
Well, it's pretty awesome, and I encourage people to check out the mural. You're going to have that opportunity to do that. Also, go check out this entire, I don't even want to call it exhibit. I want to call it like
exhibition.
This idea that's going on at the Monterey Museum of Art.
Explosion.
It's Iluminado. You've been hearing about it on the station for a while now. Go check it out. The museum's pretty amazing in general. The fact that people get to experience that, and as you said, like, try to do it maybe after the sun goes down, a little bit more. How long is the exhibit running? How can people go check it out?
So the Monterey Museum of Art, I'm sure you've said this many times on the show, is free all month.
Yes.
This is the last weekend it's open. So at 5 p.m. on Sunday, we're done. It's time to have Gap Week. We can couch. But it is also going to be open in January at some kind of limited capacity. We're not sure what that means. So I think you just come this weekend.
Just come this weekend.
Hustle up.
I'm so
There's a party.
There's a party.
There's a party. When's that?
Tell us about the party.
Yeah.
The party's 6 to 8, but also there's the winter art market between 11 and 2. So for those of you who don't know me, I teach movement, I do a lot of body stuff, and then I'm also a clothing designer, and I make fancy pants every Christmas. There's also a men's clothing collection that's only going to be available at the museum, and Hanif will also be selling his prints.
Is this Friday or Saturday?
This is Saturday,
Okay.
so it's like a double header. 11 to 2. Come to look at the things, and again, come back and play between 6 and 8.
Solstice party over there.
Yeah, that's what I said. 6 to 8, there'll be snacks.
Wow.
So it's a jam. Get it in, because we know that next week You know, Christmas, New Year's starts, and
It's
it's
a blur.
like
It's
a
the
bit of a blur
gauntlet.
and
We
a
call it the
wash.
gauntlet in my
Yeah.
household. Yeah.
It is, and I mean, we can call it what it is, but this weekend, particularly on Saturday, go take advantage of this. But if folks can't make it on Saturday, it will be open Sunday, I think, right, and then close Monday. So hustle up. You're better off if you check out the winter market, but at least check out Iluminado. It is
both times.
so freaking amazing. And as you mentioned, this is another great way that the Monterey Museum of Art is awesome.
Yeah.
Free for everybody.
Buy things from local artisans.
Yes.
Make a difference.
100%.
It's that simple.
More than ever.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, one, thank you. Just not just thank you for joining us. Thank you for all you're doing. You guys are making this place so much better, and I'm just glad that we get to have you on and talk about it. So, thanks for that. I want people to check out ReGen. There's a lot coming in this next year. Check out the mural. Check out Iluminado. And let's not let so much time go by between you guys collaborating as well as being back on Pup Talk.
No,
It's because
anytime.
they're so busy, they don't have time to come on the
I
show.
get it. They're pretty amazing people. I'm going to give you guys.
But anytime you need some bar lowering, just give us a call. We'll let you know whatever we're doing.
Nice.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Happy
Thanks for having
holidays. Have fun this weekend.
Absolute pleasure.
This is the last Pub Talk of the year.
Yeah,
last
man.
one. Next time we see you,
Hey.
we made it through 2025. I have no idea how, but we did.
I question that every
In
day.
your time.
Oh, really?
We're gonna take our break. We're gonna have a blast. We're gonna go to the Monterey Museum of Art and check out things. And we will be back in January. So
Sweet.
Thanks so much for supporting local artists. Thanks so
y'all.
much for supporting local breweries. Thanks so much for just supporting the local folks that are making a difference in your community, because that's what it's all about. And that's what we talk about here on Pub Talk every week, brought to you by Alvarado Street Brewery on the Locals radio station for the Monterey Bay.
Yeah.